Hello and welcome to the Contemporary Black Photographers Instructors Introduction. I found a couple of great quotes by some of the artists and thinkers that I'll be introducing you to this learning unit. One of them is by one of my favorite photographers, Roy DeCarva. The wonderful thing about photography is that it escapes time zones. And you look at a photograph and it's now, it's not then. So he's one of the photographers you're going to learn about. And of course, don't forget, these are all links. When there's an arrow, it means it takes you off of the website. When there's no arrow, it keeps you within the contents of the Canvas course. And of course, there's one homework discussion post this week with a quick link to that. So what I've done for this learning unit is I based the learning unit around this lovely film documentary called Through a Lens Darkly, Black Photographers and the Emergence of a People. And what I want you to do is watch this documentary and really take it in. This is just a short trail so you can get a sense of what you're going to be exploring. The maker of this film, Thomas Allen Harris, has weaved in his own personal art and his creative ways of thinking into this documentary, and then exposes you to a lot of really wonderful artists and thinkers that I hope will be of interest for you to learn about. So be sure to read all the text that I've put together for you on the various pages. And then this is a link. You should be able to just click right on this and make it full screen, and it's about an hour and a half, so like 95 minutes. I hope that you really take it in. I found a couple of quotes by different the Los Angeles Times and LA Weekly that talk about the intenseness, but also the expansiveness of this movie from not only a time perspective, so really exploring history, but also again from that personal perspective that the artist that he introduces you to weaves in throughout the film. And I found a couple of great interviews that again can help you to further understand who Thomas Allen Harris is, the maker of this film, and then also just the different subject matter that's covered if anything is very confusing to you. There are some really important historical figures that I want you to learn about. And so I've pulled out 8 different folks that I think are really important. And I've, again, given you a bunch of different resources. I tried to indicate if it was a video, if it's not a video, that might just be a link. But sometimes the videos get in without me noting it. So I encourage you to, review these links. Lots of really interesting, important things to learn about. And then I also put a list of the featured artists. And so there's 25 different artists to review. Some of them are photographers, some of them are curators. Deborah Willis is one of the women who kind of helped the director of this movie. She had a lot of foundational information that he could use as resources. These are all really amazing artists. Renee Cox is a photographer who does really interesting work and has for about the last 25 years. So Dubois Bois, his work is just stunning, and he is a photographer who's starting to get more acclaim for his work. So please take your time to go through and get to know some of these characters that are really thoughtful and amazing photographers. From people like Roy DeCarva, who was included in some of the photography history books that I have on my shelf, to someone like Ming Smith, who I just also learned about by putting this learning unit together. And then I also gathered some really interesting exhibitions, and if you find anything out there and want to share it with myself and your classmates, that would be awesome. So there's a great exhibition in New York called Grief and Grievance, Art and Mourning in America. And this is a really cool 9-minute video that pretty much walks you through the exhibition and gives you a sense of the curator who has passed, but like what his ideas were and why he put this together. Um, and then there's also other curators that I learned about actually through the research that I did putting this learning unit together. So Nicole Fleetwood is a really interesting curator. And then I also found this great 4-minute film that just talks about some awesome current art exhibitions that will be available in 2021. And some of them, there's one artist who has a show in San Francisco. So you should definitely check that out as well. This is just a group of photographers that I learned about from the documentary. And then they've also, in the last year and a half, have had a bunch of different shows. So I think it's the Kamunji workshop. So I found a 6-minute video where you can kind of go through and get a sense of the history of this group, the significance, and then they have been showing and exhibiting their work, like I said. So you could probably do more research and learn about any exhibits that they are currently involved in. And then there's a bunch of helpful links, like different organizations. The Black Table Arts is a community in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Um, Different documentaries that you might want to watch. There's a really awesome documentary, Black Art in the Absence of Light. This is available on HBO. You can also rent it on YouTube. But these are just further links that, again, might be helpful resources. And if there's anything that you come across that you think I should add to this list, please let me know. And then our homework for this week. Of course, there's a 5-minute video where I go over all the details, so I'll let you watch that, and that will give you a lot of great information as well. So, like I said, there's all of these, there's historical figures, there's this awesome video. I think there's a lot of great information in this learning unit for you to research, further navigate, and just enjoy. Keep me posted with any questions. Thanks for listening.